Okay, hi everyone. So I'm Nicola Mulder from the University of Cape Town, and I also run H3A BioNet, which is a Pan-African bioinformatics network, which is aimed at building bioinformatics capacity and infrastructure to enable genomics and bioinformatics research on the continent. So I'm presenting actually on behalf of my training officer, Kim Gowitz, who couldn't be here. So there was a big need for introduction to bioinformatics and actually all bioinformatics training in Africa. I could talk about many different aspects of this project, but I'm going to focus here on the community, the systems, and the logistics. So we have many challenges in Africa. This includes lack of access to bioinformatics expertise, which means there's nobody in many pockets of Africa to actually train people in bioinformatics. And the other major challenge is infrastructural challenges. We have computing challenges, resources, and internet instability. So we went for a distributed classroom model because we wanted to reach a very wide audience. And the key idea behind the whole approach was flexibility. So as you can see in this African map, these are all our classroom sites. We have real classrooms and then virtual classrooms. So I'm going to go through some of these key elements, starting with open educational resources. So in order to maintain flexibility, in our first iteration last year, we actually had live streaming, and we had live lectures from a lecturer who was sitting in a different place to the classrooms. We also pre-recorded the lectures in case there was internet issues. This time, everything was pre-recorded. So people had several days to download all the materials, pre-recorded lectures. And then the practical assignments all available, and classroom teaching assistants had access to this several days beforehand. And all the material is under Creative Commons license and completely openly available, including the recordings. So we have this face-to-face classrooms. So in every, to have a classroom, you had to actually have certain things, like you had to have the computer lab with speakers, some qualified training assistants. So there were some minimal requirements to have a classroom. And all these classrooms then had this peer-to-peer, so you still felt like you were part of a classroom, even though your lecturer wasn't there, your teaching assistant, you had your peers to interact with. And these classrooms periodically would interact with each other through webcams, they'd chat to each other, and they'd meet each other. And then the other factor was the virtual classroom. So here we had a system called mConf. This was designed by our local South African SANREN. And this, on the left there, you can see all the classrooms that link. So basically, you open a room, all the classrooms, all these 27 classrooms link into that. So each person there is one classroom. And then in the middle, the person can upload, the teacher can upload their slides. You have the webcam of the trainer, so there's a bit of more personal thing. And then at the top there, you can see there's a chat session, so you can constantly interact with each other and with the classroom. So we'd have the lectures, either live or you play the recorded one, and then straight afterwards, all the classrooms, the teacher would go online and answer questions during the practical session or have a discussion, live discussions with different audiences. And then we also had a virtual classroom management system. So this is a VULA, we call it VULA. It's actually a system that's used worldwide by different universities, and in UCT is called VULA, which means open. It's a very flexible classroom management system, so you can do announcements, you can have questions and discussions. So people would also pose questions after their live session to this system. And often people who in other classrooms would try to answer the questions. And then people would all add the inputs to those particular questions. We could see how many people looked at questions, how many people looked at the replies, so we could see what kind of topics needed further discussion. And these are all open, so anybody can go in and have a look at these questions. Assignments could be run through this and automatically marked, tests and quizzes, and then this also has a feedback form. So the main thing here is the kind of the interactivity between the different classrooms. So we ran this in 2016. It was so popular, and we were busy running it in 2017. So it runs over 3 months, 2 days per week for several hours. We now have 27 classrooms around Africa. 12 different countries, 146 volunteer staff. So these are all the staff where we have staff training. So we have built a community of the staff. We had nearly 1,000 applications this year, and we've got 600 participants that are doing the same course for 3 months. So why we think this works is we have this flexibility so we can get over the internet issues. We have expert trainers that people have access to all the time. They go online, they interact. The volunteer staff are trained. It builds a big community of trainers and the trainees. It's scalable, so we can increase the number. We just increased the number of classrooms by 12, and it's free, and everything is openly accessible. And so the number of people involved, and the funding comes from the NIH.